People Watching, the third studio album from English singer-songwriter Sam Fender, is an emotional, pulsing collection of songs that further cements him as a voice of the people and one of the best songwriters out there right now. Let's break it all down on this edition of Rock Album Review. Hey everybody, it's Nick here with you. Welcome back to the channel. People Watching is the third studio album from English singer-songwriter Sam Fender. It's the follow-up to 2021's 17 Going Under. And I don't know every song in every album by Sam Fender, but I do really enjoy his music, especially that song, the title track from his last album, 17 Going Under. That is such an incredible track. And he's like the modern English version of Bruce Springsteen meets Jeff Buckley. He's very talented as a singer and a lyricist with very deep emotional songs that resonate with his fan base. And we are having a great month in February for big UK rock releases. Last week, we had the new album from the Manic Street Preachers, Critical Thinking, which I reviewed here on the channel. This week, we have new album from Sam Fender. And then next week, we have the new album from Doves. So it's a good time to be a UK and Welsh rock fan. So as a UK rock fan and a Sam Fender fan, I was primed and ready to listen to this new album from Sam Fender. But like, is it like, people watching, or are we like people watching, like, have we figured this out yet? Are the people watching Sam Fender, or is Sam Fender watching the people? I feel like it's both. In a nutshell, I think this new album from Sam Fender, People Watching, is great. It's fantastic. And Sam Fender is really a top-notch singer and songwriter, and the band that he's assembled for this record, I believe most of them have been playing with him since the beginning. They are beyond fire on this album. They bring so much energy and emotion to the songs, and the whole album really is just super lush and super textured. That said, this isn't necessarily a fun album. There are a lot of big anthemic songs on here that a lot of fans are going to be singing at Sam Fender gigs from here to eternity, but this feels much more introspective and emotional than, a big dumb rock album. And this is an album that is meant to be inspected and analyzed line by line. There is so much here to listen to musically and lyrically that I felt like I really only scratched the surface on the first listen of People Watching. And overall, the album rides a very fine line between anthemic, stadium-ready sing-alongs and much more introspective, quiet songs. Before we continue, guys, if you like this review, if you like what I'm doing here on the channel, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up and for you to smash that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Let's get back to it. The first song and the title track, People Watching, starts out with an immediately catchy guitar line and a driving beat, which has kind of become the signature of Sam Fender's sound. This song immediately sounds like him, so that is a sign of a true artist when you can recognize him from the first couple of lines. It definitely has like a Bleachers, Jack Antonoff kind of feel to it. The chorus is euphoric, and it's the type of music that that fans are going to have their hands up in the air at the upcoming gigs. And then the saxophones come in, just like on 17 Going Under, that title track from the last record. Both songs have a similar feel and drive to them. And I was actually reading some press about this new record, and this song in particular is about people that Sam Fender would see on the street walking home from a palliative care facility where he was caring for a loved one who was near the end of their life. A very powerful start to the song, and really a powerful start to the album. And there are some other big fist in the air style songs on here too, like Chin Up. This is one of my favorites on the record. It's a straight ahead rocker, the type of song where Sam is cementing himself as one of the great UK songwriters. And I can already picture this one being a big hit with the crowds at his upcoming shows to promote this new record. And one thing that is very noticeable about Sam Fender's records is that he writes a lot about his hometown. He's a great lyric writer, especially on songs like Nostalgia's Lie. I really like this one. I don't usually look up the lyrics when I'm reviewing a lot of these records that I do on this channel, but I did with this one because there is so much going on lyrically. And you know what? Actually, this song kind of got me because you know what? We all feel nostalgia for days gone by, whether it be, the old days back in high school or when we were in our 20s or our 30s, especially as you get older, you start to feel that nostalgia a lot more. And I know that's something that I felt a lot more as I've gotten older. So this song definitely struck a chord. Nostalgia can be a good thing. It's always great to look back and feel those memories, but it can also be dangerous too. And I feel like that's what Sam Fender is getting at this song. Wild Long Lie was one of my favorite tracks on the first listen of People Watching. It has more of a folky feel to it. There is a bit of variety happening between all of these songs. They're not all rocky. They're not all folky. They're not all soft. There's a lot of middle ground happening here. And I really love the main line of the song, Wild Long Lie, and I'll tell it all night. And similar to songs like 17 Going Under and People Watching, this one comes in with that awesome sax solo. Also, I got to mention, actually, I was listening on Spotify, the B-side, which is not on this record, Me and the Dog, which was on the Wild Long Lie release on streaming, is absolutely awesome. Love the line in this song. It's just me and the dog. Don't need no one else. As a dog owner, I can totally relate to the sentiment on this song. And I actually do feel like Me and the Dog should have been on the album proper.
Just me and the dog.
And like I say on a lot of my reviews, there are some really nice tender moments on this record too. Arm's Length is already a slow dance staple. I can feel this one being the type of song that people are going to be dancing to for a very, very long time, dancing very closely. Has a really cool 80s kind of pop vibe to it, which I really enjoyed. Some of these songs sounds a lot like a mix between Tom Petty and Jeff Buckley, and some other songs that I can't quite put my finger on. I can definitely hear the Jeff Buckley vibes in Sam Fender's voice. Remember My Name sounds like a church hymn. Really thought that was cool. Sam Fender is the preacher of the proceedings of our church hymns, and it was like a typical ending track with big strings, a lot of horns, and I thought it ended the album on a rather contemplative note. And as I said, this isn't necessarily a big rock record with lots of huge riffs and drum solos happening everywhere, but there are some really cool guitar lines happening here on as well, on songs like Wild Long Lie, A Little Bit Closer, and Crumbling Empire. Whether it's Sam Fender or the guitar players in his band, Dean Thompson and Brooke Bentham, I'm not really sure who's playing it, but there are some sweet little licks littered throughout the course of this album, which I really enjoyed. One of the criticisms that I would have for people watching is that it's similar to a lot of the albums that I listen to on this channel. It was a little bit front-loaded. A lot of these stronger, more single-worthy songs are on the first half, and the second half still has some cool songs on it, but they started to blend together a little bit to me towards the end. But I feel like that's kind of how it goes with a lot of records. I feel like if you're a casual listener of a band, the first half of the album, which, you know, a lot of artists put a lot of those big singles and those big songs in the first half of the album to really draw in the listener. I feel like those songs are for the hardcore fans, but more for the casual listener like myself. But then the second half of the album has more of those songs that a lot of the diehard hardcore fans are really going to like. Songs like TV Dinner with its Radiohead-esque pianos in there reminded me of Pyramid Song from Amnesiac. And then when you hear Sam Fender doing his best Jeff Buckley with an all-out vocal, it was a cool song, but I didn't really love it. And then another one that kind of blended together for me was Rein Me In. It didn't really grab me upon first listen, but it could really be something that I like the more I listen to the record. And on that note, a lot of the albums I listen to for reviewing on this channel are kind of like one and done for me, unless it's a band that I really love. I'm like a ride or die longtime fan, like Manic Street Preachers last week. But for the most part, when I'm reviewing albums for this channel, I kind of, pick and choose something that I like from each record, put it into a Spotify playlist. I take away some tracks from each album that I like, but I rarely ever listen to that album again. But on People Watching, this album kind of demands repeated listens and has a lot of layers lyrically and musically that will reward the listener again and again when you listen to it over and over again. And People Watching further cements Sam Fender as a force to be reckoned with in the UK rock scene. This isn't, again, a big riffs everywhere rock record, but it's an album that shows the versatility of the genre. It's anthemic, it's fist in the air, it's rock music that fans will be raising their hands to at live shows in due time. And as I said, I wouldn't really pull this album out if I wanted to listen to a big fun rock album in the sunshine in the summer with the windows down, put my devil horns up or anything like that. But not everything in the genre has to be that. Rock music is also meant to be a cathartic listening experience. And in Sam Fender, he's exercising his demons on this record. He's talking about his hometown. There are a lot of deep things happening musically, and we as listeners and fans are processing those emotions at the same time as Sam Fender. So it shows the power of music and good rock music in general. Favorite songs for me on here were the title track, People Watching, Nostalgia's Lie, Chin Up, Wild Long Lie, and Arm's Length. So I'm going to give the new album from Sam Fender, People Watching, a solid 4 out of 5. All right, guys, that is my rock album review for the new album from Sam Fender, People Watching. Let me know what you thought of the album in the comments below. Whether you liked it or didn't like it, what you thought of my review, let me know in the comments below. Let's get a conversation going. If you like this video, really appreciate a thumbs up, and we appreciate if you smash the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. Next week on the channel, we'll be reviewing the new album from Doves, Constellations of the Lonely, continuing this great month of February where we have all these awesome UK rock releases coming out. So stay tuned for that. Until then, I'll see you guys again for another rock album review here on the channel. Until then, rock on, everybody.